Welcome student. Today we will be learning a lesson from environmental studies, that is how we came to be part 2. Chapter number 7, from shelters to village settlement. Module 1. So before proceeding to our chapter, let's discuss something. Can you tell me why we need a shelter? Yes, we need a shelter to protect ourselves from rain, wild animals, heat, cold, etc. So, during the Stone Age period, man too need shelter as we need So, the climate during that period also was very harsh and dark. So, as soon as they fetched the fire, they started to survive in this harsh climate. So, student, in this module 1, today we will be learning about the types of shelter from Stone Age to Neolithic Age. So, let's proceed to our lesson. From shelter to village settlement. Types of shelter from Stone Age to Homo sapiens sapiens. So, first house of the Stone Age was a cave which was built from cutting the big rocks. After all, they decided to live in the open space. So they made house from bark of trees, animal skin, dry grasses, also from the bone which were collected from the dead animals. And at last they started living in a house made from stone and iron. Student, let's have a brief introduction on the Stone Age men, on one's climate change and the shelter he lives in, as well as let's learn about them in details. So, on your screen, you can see different types of shelter. Stone Age. During the Paleolithic Age, around 800,000 BC to 10,000 BC, humans in Britain sheltered from ice and cold inside caves. These were ready made houses from them to take shelter in quickly. So you can see on your screen that this the shelter of the Stone Age. So this house were made from Stone Age by cutting the rocks. Stone Age houses. Evidence found from Mesolithic time around 15,000 BC indicates a circular structure made from wooden posts. There are no houses remaining, but archaeologists have found marks in the ground that they believe were made from timber poles. The frame may have been round or conical like a teepee. They may have used animal skin, thatch, or turf or cover the frame. There was evidence to suggest that the floor was covered with a layer of moss, reeds, and other soft plant materials. So, student, on your screen you can see the image of the house which was made by Stone Age people or human. Stone Age house. During the Neolithic period, 4000 BC and 25,000 BC, Stone Age houses were rectangular and constructed from timber. None of these houses remain, but we can see the foundation. Some houses use wattle, means woven wood and dub, made and mud and straw for the walls and had thatch roofs. So you can see on your screen the house which is made by wattle and dog. Stone Age houses. Other houses from the Neolithic period, like the ones uncovered at Shakra Brae, were built from stone. They were built into mounds of rubbish known as midden. Midden could include small stones, shells, mud, and animals' bones. It provided small stability as well as insulation. These houses were usually round. They had beds, storage shelves, and a heart in the middle. Roofs were made from materials such as straw, animal skins, or turf laid over driftwood. So, student, on your screen you can see the image of such type house which were made from the materials have which were mentioned in this paragraph. Learning objectives from our lesson: from shelter to village settlements. Shelter of Stone Age men. Neanderthal used animal skin inside a cave. The mammoth was an ancestor of the elements. So, student, all these points we are going to learn in this module. Climate during the Stone Age period. Let's see the climate during the Stone Age period. You can see different images related to the climate. So, as you can see in this image, the land was totally covered with ice sheet, and so because of this, the climate during ice age was that the weather would often be very dry as water than today. Comes down as rain from frozen river like frozen region like glacier. So the land was totally trapped under the ice sheet. The land near the ice sheet was barren and treeless. So, because of this, there were no cultivation. So, some animals rely on the environment to live, such as mammoth, wild boar, etc. The Neolithic age learn about the fire. So, student, you can see in this image that still now we understand that the climate during the Stone Age was very harsh and it was extremely cold. So, let's see how Neolithic learn about the fire. As we learned from our previous lesson, evolution of mankind and Stone Age, that they use pieces of flintstone banged together to create spark or rub two dry sticks with each other to generate enough heat to start a blaze. As they learn about the fire, they started eating roasted food. They also impoverish their tools for hunting and other purposes. From this age, we also learn that they started living a civilized life and started doing farming, keeping pets for milk products, and plowing the field. So, you can see how they were keeping themselves warm with the help of fire. Shelter of Stone Age man. So, as we know that Neanderthals mainly lived in a cave to protect them from extremely cold climate in Europe, and the climate during that time was freezing as the total land was covered with ice sheet. So mainly Neanderthal means these species live in caves to protect themselves from extremely cold climate in Europe. At that time, temperature was freezing the earth, and it was totally covered with ice sheet, means snow. We also learn because of their intellectual and observation, these species learn about fire which help them to survive for a longer period. As fire provide a source of warmth, protection from wild animals, as well as a way to create more advanced tools because they were known as a intelligent man or a thinking man. Shelter of Stone Age man. So, as we know, because of the cold climate, they used to wear leather clothes to keep their warmth. So, the climate during the Stone Age period was unbearable for men to survive. So they learned to create fire and use animal skin to keep them warm. They also started to make a cloth from the animal hides. Also use this animal skin for lighting up the caves. After some period, they learned to use animal skin to erect their tent from inside. Living in cave was difficult for them to live because it was dark and shallow. So they decided to make a tent in the open according to their flexibility. To cover the tent, they started searching and hunting big animals for the skin. Why we found fur animals during Ice Age. So let's see. Srujan, when we feel cold, we use woolen cloth, jackets, shawls, etc. to cover our body and keep it warm. But do you know how animals survive in Ice Age? So, on your screen, you can see the animal who have long furry hair on their body. This furry long hair help them to survive because large animals retain their body heat better than small ones. Heat retention help to grow thick furry clothes such as we can see in the woolly mammoth. Thick layer of fat beneath the skin provide insulation to these animals. So, on your screen, you can see the polar bear, mammoth, silver fox, mountain goats. So, all these animals were furry animals which helped them to survive in this harsh climate. A reconstruction of a seasonal camp, Middle Stone Age. So, in this, we will be learning about how Homo sapiens established their camp all over the world. As we learned from our previous lesson in Middle Stone Age, these species started to live in groups. So they reconstructed the camp near the sea shore all over the world as they were living in groups, and also because of fire the climate was getting warmer. So they changed their diet as they learned to do farming and grow crops on their field, and also started eating roasted food because of learning fire. So their eating habits and their diets were changed in Middle Stone Age period. As we learn in this module that in this period we mostly found a furry animal. So mammoth were mostly found in this Stone Age period. During this period, the ancestor of elephant were called mammoth. Due to environment changes and hunting activities, these animals became extinct. Extinct basically means they are no longer found anywhere on earth. After that, Homo sapien turns towards the fishing. So they started hunting the fish because they were living near the seashore. Do you know this? The mammoth is called an ancestor of the elephant. The mammoth is also called an ancestor of the elephant, and woolly mammoth shares a common ancestor. Scientists had proposed that woolly mammoths are more commonly related to Asian elephants than to African elephants. The researchers also focus on a type of DNA called mitochondrial DNA. Its ring-shaped structure found inside a cell part and slightly ring-shaped structure overlap. The different suggest that the African elephant were the first modern species to split from the main branches of the elephant family tree. So it was profound that the researchers mean scientists that Asian elephants are more closely related to mammoth than African elephants. Homo sapiens began to develop more on hunting the small animals as mammoth began to extinct. So, after the extinction of mammoth, these species started hunting wild boar, for their food. They hunt smaller animals such as deer, sheep, mountain goat, etc. for their eating purposes. Recap of our Module 1 from shelter to village settlement. So in this module, student, we learn different types of house made by Stone Age, climate during this period, how the Stone Age man used animal skin for multi-purpose uses, how mammoth begin extinct, also they are the ancestor of an elephant. They move toward the smaller animals and hunt the fish. So all this we learn in our module 1. Evaluation of our module 1. Fill in the blanks. They use animal hides to erect dash inside the cave. Answer 10. They also build dash in the open. Answer huts. With the change in environment, the dash of the Homo sapiens also change. Answer died. True or false? Use of metal enhance human life with stronger tools and implements. Answer true. New Stone Age villagers use bricks, concrete materials to build house. Answer false. Stone Age established their camps all over the world. Answer true. Answer in one sentence is, why did the Neanderthals lives in caves? Answer, the Neanderthals lives in caves because at that time the climate in Europe was extremely cold. Then, where did the Middle Stone Age men establish their camps? Answer, the Middle Stone Age men established their camp all over the world. Which animals Homo sapiens mainly hunt? Answer, the Homo sapiens mainly hunted the mammoth on a large scale. Give reason. The diet of Homo sapiens underwent a change. Answer, with the mammoths getting extinct, the Homo sapiens turned to fishing. They also gathered wild seasonal food grains, fruits, and roots. Thus, the diet of Homo sapiens underwent a change. People establish permanent village settlement. Answer, the nature of agriculture work made it necessary to stay in one place. Therefore, people establish permanent settlements to live in them generation after generation. Thank you, student.